I want to quickly compare and contrast Monarch versus YNAB and Copilot. So those are personal budgeting apps. So here is a review that I want you to really pay attention to. I want to start with Monarch. So when you think about Monarch, I want you to think about an all-in-one finance app that is very great for when it comes to user experience and user interface. Very easy. Now, the dashboard is really nice. We love the colors. You're able to manage your money from a centralized dashboard. It's just fantastic. So when you think about Monarch, think about an app that provides an all-in-one solution for monitoring and tracking your finances. And you can automatically sync your transactions, investments, and other assets to have a live picture of your wealth. So we're talking about your net worth, your assets, and total liabilities. And you can use Monarch as the app has forecasting tools to help you create a game plan to save for the future. So this is really good in terms of, so if your goal is to save money, your goal is to track money, your goal is to budget money the right way, use Monarch. And if you use several banks and brokerages, keeping track of all your finances can be a tricky task, and this app helps you a lot. In other words, you are able to add all of your assets from different banks and different institutions all in one dashboard, and you are able to keep track of things seamlessly. And so you have so Monarch really this app simplifies your life by consolidating all of your finances on one platform. So if you want to budget, track spending, and plan for the future, Monarch has all the tools you need. What we love about, now let me quickly talk about the pros and cons so you have a clear picture of what I'm talking about here. Pros first. This Monarch app connects with more than 11,000 financial institutions. You can create custom transaction categories and rules to automatically categorize expenses. You have comprehensive net worth tracker. You have a recurring bill and subscription reminder that helps you avoid late payments. You can add collaborators to your account for free. And Monarch continues actually adding new features all the time. What about the cons here? Well, you have limited crypto support since Monarch only syncs with Coinbase. The free plan is quite limited and doesn't include investment tracking. And Monarch does not support bill payments since it uses read-only data. So when you think about this app, think about an app that's constantly being upgraded. And actually, the cool thing is that you are able to streamline your assets, your liability, your net worth tracking from one place. It's just fantastic. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let's dig a little deeper here when we talk about Monarch. So what are the features that you can expect within Monarch? First of all, you have financial planning and goal setting. You have investment tracker. You have a net worth tracker. This is really fantastic. You have recurring bills and subscriptions. You have transaction rules. You have personalized advice based on your situation, and you have account collaboration. I want to quickly talk about some of those features here. For example, the net worth tracker is just fantastic. So if you are looking for a comprehensive net worth tracker, Monarch is one of the best options out there because it can track a wide range of assets and liabilities. By the way, net worth, just want to quickly define net worth equal total assets minus total liabilities. In other words, what you own versus what you owe. So basically, you can track your net worth via bank accounts, credit card debts, cryptocurrency with Coinbase, investments, loans, online accounts like Venmo and Apple Card statements, real estate, property prices are synced with Zillow, and you have vehicles. This is really good. And for investment tracker, you basically can track things like basically you are syncing with online brokerage accounts and any investing apps that you are using. So this lets you chart your entire portfolio for a complete view of performance and asset allocation. So overall, Monarch Investment Tracker is fairly comparable to the dashboards you get with Empower or with budgeting apps like Mint. However, one improvement Monarch has made its integration with Coinbase. This lets you track your crypto holdings alongside other assets like stock and ETFs you currently own. So this is really good. And you also have to think about the fact that you have transaction rules within Monarch. So while this falls under Monarch's budgeting tools, this transaction rule feature is one of the best features in our opinion. Transaction rules lets you create rules to rename and reorganize transactions. For example, let's say you have a recurring gym membership subscription that costs about $25 bi-weekly that you pay with a specific card. You can create a rule that automatically categorizes this as a gym expense. The same idea applies for other subscriptions or any transaction that occurs regularly. So this is kind of cool. So you also have personalized advice through Monarch. This is really fantastic. And you also have account collaboration. So you can really invite a household member to join your Monarch account. From there, you can create a shared space, which is useful for housing a joint account or a shared savings fund. Adding collaborators to your account is also completely free, which is great news for couples. I want you to look right now on the screen. When it comes to Monarch pricing, you're going to have to contact Monarch to sort of have a clear idea. But they charge about $7 to $9 every month per user. Okay, and you have a maximum 2 bank connections, and you all have the ability to add somebody else, as I said before. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Monarch versus YNAB versus Copilot. Let me talk to you now about the YNAB. So when you think about YNAB, I want you to think about, first of all, YNAB means you need a budget. Okay, think about it. Like if you really want to, if you have financial goals that you're trying to achieve, and you really are serious about those financial goals, YNAB is really the app for you, because you are able to really do budgeting for real, like for real. The thing is, when you think about YNAB, think about an app that was actually launched about 20 years ago. And so it requires you to be forward looking and intentional about every dollar. It requires you to be aware. Okay. It requires you to really, really, really be in control of your finances. This is really great. So YNAB actually brings together all of your accounts and then prompts you to give each available dollar a job. This way, you determine where your money will be going instead of waiting to see a summary of where it's gone. And so how does YNAB really works? Well, getting started, you actually just need to download the app and actually sign up for it. And so as a matter of fact, listen, you can start your free trial. So you have 30 to 34 days to actually test the software. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine also. But you have the ability to actually test it first. There is a steep learning curve to expect if you were to go with the YNAB, because it's not as intuitive as it is, but because you have to do some work. I'm talking about some real work to actually be in control of your finances. And this is where YNAB does a great job at actually motivating you, at fostering this sort of spirit of this fighter spirit. And when it comes to your budget, so this is really cool. And the thing here is that you are able to set up your budget real fast within the YNAB. It makes the app makes the whole process a lot easier and very, very intuitive. You are able to you have alerts and notifications that allows you to stick to your budget. So remember, it's important to understand that YNAB believes that your budget, not your bank account, should guide your spending. So the idea is that the money in your bank account is no longer available. So you're spending on your budget. Now you look at the amount available in your budget for each category before deciding how much to spend, right? Of course, you can adjust your budget at any time. So this is kind of cool. But the thing is that you need to actually have a way to you need to find a way to imagine that you are a manager of your money. You are a money manager. And this takes a lot of work. And but the thing is, YNAB does the whole thing a lot like we love the fact that it's a very playful way. You know, it's not like you're actually taking an accounting course or a personal finance course. No, the app makes the whole thing user friendly. You have a community of folks. You have tutorials. You have videos. You have a YouTube channel. You have a lot of support around you to sort of make you feel comfortable and make you feel really great about the whole experience. So this is really fantastic. So basically, I want you to look right now on the screen here. Here is the pricing for a YNAB. So basically, you have it for the annual plan. You can pay $99 a year, or you can pay $14.99 a month. It's really up to you to see like how much you want to invest in YNAB. The thing here is that if you were to like our team members, we all have YNAB, but we have our other apps too. That we have Mint, we have YNAB, we have Every Dollar. We have a lot. We have 12 apps because we need to test them. But YNAB is kind of cool. If you're real about your money management, it's just a lot better to go with the annual plan. So you save a lot of cash, because think about it, $825 per month versus $99. Versus $99, you're saving a lot. But what I want to say here is that you have to ask yourself, are you really serious about your budget? Because remember, in YNAB, you need to give every dollar a job. As soon as you have money available, you need to decide where it should be spent. This is the best way to avoid buying things based on your mood or bank account. Instead, you are spending based on your priorities. If you set aside some time each time you get paid to make a plan for the money, it will be much easier to decide what you can and cannot afford throughout the month. You need to embrace your true expenses through YNAB. YNAB helps you embrace your true expenses. You are actually, for example, true expenses are those big, unexpected things that can cause financial stress. So think of a car breakdown or a last-minute trip you have to make. Okay, YNAB encourages you to think about those true expenses in advance and break them down into monthly bills. This way, you'll be ready for those expenses when they come up. And you also need to roll with the punches. So while YNAB offers a strict budget platform, it is okay to be flexible. So if you overspend in one category, YNAB will encourage you to address it quickly and adjust it accordingly. You can choose a category where you have overspent, transfer funds from another category to cover it, and then move on without the guilt. And you can age your money also. So when you think about YNAB, what are the pros and cons here? Let's first talk about the pros. You have a very active approach. You can see that it requires a lot of work. You have to be really engaged in the whole process. You have personalization. And you also have easy tracking, because YNAB provides a budget with suggested categories, but you can edit them, delete them, reorder them, and add new categories that make sense for your life. And you can track things very easily. What about the cons here? Well, while the first 34 days are free, YNAB costs about $15 a month or $99 annually afterwards. So competing personal finance apps, Mint and Empower are free. Usability, the whole thing requires a little bit of a steep learning curve. There is a steep learning curve at the beginning, and you have limited features that you need to really think about. YNAB doesn't have as many features as some of the competing free apps. Okay, there are no bill payments alerts, and you can't track your investments. Instead, the app focuses solely on budgeting. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about the Monarch versus YNAB versus Copilot. Let's talk about Copilot. So when you think about Copilot, I want you to think about an app that's really great in terms of using our artificial intelligence to understand your spending and income. And so Copilot actually will help you track your spending, build your budget, review investments, and help you establish credit. So you have no ad partners. You can use, the app uses natural language processing, NLP, to make transaction categorization easier. And the cool thing is you are able to constantly look at your investment, your spending, your budgeting, and see what really works, what doesn't work. So when you think about Copilot, think about an app that really is trying to make things a lot easier for you. The app actually started not long ago, like about 5 years ago. So they're pretty new when you compare them to YNAB or Monarch for that matter. And the company's focus is on having user-centric experience. In other words, giving you customized goals, customized recommendations based on your finances. And what we love about Copilot is that you are able to actually track things as you go. But the thing is that Copilot doesn't partner with big banks and credit card companies. Instead, it charges a monthly or annual subscription fee for it to actually give you the services that you really want. And so this is kind of cool. And so when you think about Copilot, I want you to think about intuitive visualizations. You have spending tracker and budget. So this is really cool. You also have investment tracking. You have support for crypto tracking. You have notification flexibility. You have transaction categorization using natural language processing, NLP. You have a lot of features here. I want to quickly go through the details of some of them. So when you talk about spending tracker and budgets, you are basically able to see exactly where your money is going, your cash inflows and cash outflows. And but the thing is that here, Copilot is really giving you a visual representation of your budgeting. In terms of investment tracking, you are able to track all kinds of expenses, all kinds of investments, from stocks to bonds to ETFs to real property. But of course, you need to actually integrate that information within the app. And when we talk about Copilot, we also love the fact that you have the ability to manage all kinds of stuff, not just budget related. But what we love about Copilot is we love the fact that you have intuitive visualizations. Like, a lot of emphasis is put on visualization. So Copilot has several dashboards that allow users to understand the facets of their finances. So the investment dashboard shows you like long-term trends as well as more recent tickers of returns. The budget dashboard shows at-risk categories where you may overspend, as well as a breakdown of spending by category. So you also have a forecast dashboard that allows you to really stay true to your budget. This is really good. Now, the big question is, are there any fees? Well, yes. I mean, you're going to have to pay like $8.99 per month or $69.99 per year. And so it is what it is. So they're charging you. And so how does Copilot really compare to other players in this field? Well, you need to understand, you have, it really depends on how quote unquote serious you are about budgeting. Because if you were to think about being really serious about budgeting, for instance, then you want to go with YNAB, for instance. But if you are interested in let's say, in investments, but also functionality around investment, then maybe it's just a lot better to go with Empower. Empower, by the way, used to be called a Personal Capital. They actually rebranded not long ago. So, but Copilot is really like a hybrid of all those two. So Copilot is not really an app for a specific sort of feature when it comes to budgeting. They have a little bit of a few things here and there. Okay, you have a little bit of budgeting, a little bit of investment tracking, a little bit of savings management, a little bit of net worth tracking. So you really have a little bit of everything. And if that's what you want, then basically you have the right tool for you. But remember, it will cost you $9 per month or $90 per year. Okay. Now, is it really worth it? Yes. Using Copilot is a wonderful experience. And so it takes about 30 minutes to 1 hour to set things up. But after you have it, it's really fine. And so if you were to compare, for instance, Copilot to YNAB, Copilot is really quote unquote, like easy peasy. In other words, you just set it up and just leave it. Whereas YNAB, you have to really take care of it every single day. Okay. And so you have a lot of features within Copilot. You have budgeting, income tracking, expense tracking, bank integration, investment tracking, crypto tracking, credit score monitoring, net worth tracking, bill pay. So you don't have bill pay. You don't have tax preparation. You are not able to actually import. You can import bank data files. This is really fantastic. So overall, you have so when it comes to customer support options, you have email and in-app chat. No phone support. And there's an email for customer support, hello@copilot.money. Okay. And you have, there are promotions like if you really want to sign up now, you can actually go with a 2-month free trial. And that's really good to go. So this is really fantastic. So overall, when you think about the pros and cons of Copilot, the pros, you have deep knowledge of taxes and tech worker finances, low-cost asset management and portfolio construction services, help center staffed by real people during business hours. What about the cons here? Well, changing transaction types is not really intuitive, especially if you try it several times, and it's only available for Mac and iPhone, and you must pay a monthly or annual fee after the first 2 months free. So let me give you a few pro tips here. The question is, should you go with Monarch, YNAB, or Copilot? It really depends. It depends on what kind of personal finance app you're looking for. Remember, a personal finance app can help you track your spending, saving, investing, and bill payments while keeping you updated on credit score changes. You can connect your personal finance apps to your financial institutions to see where the money from your bank account is being spent. And so basically, it's really what you really want, how thorough, how detailed you want the personal finance app to be, right? It's all about your money anyway. At the end, it's all about your money. It's all about your budgeting. It's all about your savings processes. And so it also depends on the features you want in the personal finance app. Do you want to have a shared wallet? Do you want to have bill reminders? Do you want to have automatic bill pay? Do you want to even manage your subscriptions? And do you want to manage your money with your significant others, your significant other? It's really important to understand that if you want to manage your money from a family perspective, let's say you want to manage your money with with your household, all the other all household members overall, then you have to think about the app you want to go for. For example, Honeydew is an app that is great for couples. If you want to, if you're looking for an app that's very simple, like very, very simple with simple features, go with Simplify by Quicken, right? So you got to really ask yourself also how much you are willing to pay for the app that you are looking for, because it does cost money. As you can see here, YNAB will cost you about $15 a month, and whereas Copilot is charging you $9 a month, right? So you got to ask yourself how much you are willing to pay for this whole thing. And you also need to ask yourself, are you willing to spend time tracking bills? Because bills are going to be part of, bills are the foundation of your budget, of your budgeting, of any budgeting for that matter. So you want to have a clear idea about your bill payments, about your bills in the first place, what constitute bills for you, what kind of expenses you want to focus on, what kind of expenses you want to actually have in your budget, and then how you are going to track your bills over time. So those are things you have to have a clear idea about, and you really need to think about them beforehand. One thing I need to say also is that before actually telling you which between Monarch, YNAB, and Copilot is the best in our view, you also need to ask yourself, how easy do you want the app to be? Because apps are not designed the same way. Some apps are very easy to use while others are very complicated. You have like a steep learning curve. So be clear about what's really important for you. After analyzing Monarch, YNAB, and Copilot, we think the winner is YNAB. So we think that YNAB is really great. It's a really, really very thorough. So YNAB 9.8 over 10, Monarch 9.6 over 10, and Copilot 9.4 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.